What hurts more than hurting yourself? Probably hurting someone else, of course, is the only option to really have. But this is more of a serious episode, and I'm gonna cut a little deep. I've hurt some people in my life, family, friends, mainly friends. And it's not a lot of things where it's like, oh, of course I have to. You've said some things, but living with that regret of saying something, doing something, wishing you didn't, oh, I should have not said that. But hurting is a different category at this point of, I don't know, seriousness. You could say something you could regret the whole life, your whole life. Simple as saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. Oh, I wish I didn't say that to someone. You could lose someone because of one single moment of you messing up. And I have done that. You don't know how someone else is feeling or doing that day, and you say one thing just a little wrong, just off a little bit, and they could take it the wrong way. And it's not always they're overreacting, but sometimes it just doesn't, that moment didn't seem right to say something or do something, and it hurts them. And that's a sucky feeling. Being like, hey, how's your day? And you just try to chit chat. The worst moments is when you're just trying to be happy or cheer them up. And that sometimes ends up being worse, makes things worse. Like losing someone, and all of a sudden you go to that person who's lost someone and try to cheer them up and hey, and I don't know, hurts them because now the one thing they didn't tell you or say was that to remind them, and you don't know. That's the thing. Life is very, I don't know, or you don't know what's going on behind their life and everything, but it's hurting. It's just, we regret. It hurts people. And I don't really have much else in this episode besides this is kind of really it. Go over examples of myself because myself have done this where I've just you try to be there for someone. You try to do your best. And the way I can relate is one 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 thing that really hurt, and I'm gonna get really personal about this, was I had a friend who was really hurt, hurt in. And my go-to at this time in my life was to joke and be nice and try to cheer them up. That's all I ever did. That's all I ever knew how to do because I was 13 at this point. And so she came to me sad, crying, and obviously hurting. And at some points, you need to learn and know when's a good time to joke and when's not, what to say, what to do. And that's a thing that we struggle with probably as kids, that we don't know what to do. What do I say? How do I say to them? And so she came to me and I started doing jokes and trying to cheer them up, things that made them laugh. I got them to laugh only a very few amount of times. But things got worse, and during that call, they decided it would be a good idea instead of to, stay, they decided to take their own lives on the call with me. And that was the turning point of how I dealt with stuff. Because now that moment sense was I have to stop joking. I have to stop being so overly, I don't know, not serious. And that's where I really switched. I really went from take everything as a grain of salt, try to joke with someone, to now knowing and regretting that I could have taken things more seriously. I could have done things differently. And a lot of people say, don't regret, oh, you could have you did what you thought you did to do. You did your best. I know. I did do my best. I did try. But it was the instant lesson of, I need to stop that. I need to stop taking things so not seriously. And I'm asking you, as I usually do, like, what's something you regret? something that you've hurt someone or hurt yourself. Something's hurt you. Because hurting is a thing that happens to us. You dwell on things and it hurts. You do stuff, all of a sudden it hurts. You obviously fall, you get hurt. Thing like pain, something's hurt you and pain wise just is another thing that you could talk about even that. But I'm asking like more or less emotionally I want to get to. Something that's hurt you or you've hurt someone. And the regret of it, sometimes you don't think. You don't think all the time. You don't think of the consequences or something they did or said. Like, not everyone thinks of consequences immediately. Sometimes it takes days, weeks, months, years. Because there's a lot of people. Let's give a good example. It's like parents that are, I would say, mm, yeah, I would say, like, let's say abusive parent. Someone that thought they were doing right. You know, the way they were raised, they did this. Like, this is how they were raised. This is how they're going to raise their kid and how they're going to do stuff. And they see it as this is the way it should be. It's it didn't hurt me as bad as this person, but you forget about the underlying parts of like, not everyone's you. Everyone's different, it's a different way to experience stuff. But like hurt their kids and the hurting part comes with regret because it takes years sometimes them to realize they hurt people. Because you could be ignorant and really think that, oh, they're just overreacting. And it takes years of people to stop talking to you, ghosting you, putting you away, and you know, the whole thing if I explain it too much. But there's a thing that we forget that it could take a while to really realize you hurt someone, and then it will hurt you. And also, it's really late at night. It's about 4 in the morning when I'm making this. So sorry if I sound a little weird. I don't want to hurt your ears. But yeah, it's always a weird thing. And this might be the end of it, like a 6-minute one, a 7-minute. But yeah, I really hope you can at least agree or like, get, you know what I mean. Relate. That's the word. So I couldn't think about it. But I'm going to probably end this one right now. Because, it's the weekend and I can't make episodes in the weekend because I have family and everything. Everyone's home. And I'm usually loud in the living room making these. So hope you enjoy and have a good day. Toodaloo.